entrepreneurs don't fail because of a lack of ideas. They fail because they never develop the skills needed to run a business. Skills matter in everything that you do, right? In every decision, every choice, right? Every business adventure, when you're trying to be a leader, a mentor, when you're trying to make impact, when you're trying to make income, skills matter. When you're applying for a job, right? When you look, sometimes it'll tell you like the qualifications, right? Or the things required that you need in order to be the best candidate, right? For that particular job, right? And typically 9 times out of 10 is going to give you some type of skills that they are looking for you to have, right? Communication skills, being a team leader. And the reason why skills matter is because it actually dictates an organization's, right, ability, okay, to innovate and to adapt, to making changes, making shifts, right, and literally to maintain compatibility on edge and to maintain the culture and the structure of that particular business. Because again, we have to learn how to adapt. Things are going to change. Things are not always going to be the same. And that's why I talk and I teach in the business execution framework the 9 different skills that every entrepreneur leader needs in order to be successful in their business and to generate impact income and to have a purposeful driven business. Anyone, right, can Google what skills are needed, to start a business, or what skills are important for my business. But nobody is actually teaching and showing you, giving you different real live examples of how to implement these skills. I can tell you all the skills all day, but if I'm not showing you, if I'm not implementing it and showing you sometimes some of y'all are actually using these skills in your everyday life, but you're not even understanding, you're not even realizing it. And sometimes people don't even know how to develop that skill into something greater, right? Or how to maintain that particular skill. Money doesn't solve poor leadership, right? Money doesn't solve poor communication. Money doesn't solve poor decisions. Those are skills. Communication is a skill. Leadership is a skill, right? Making decisions. Again, I just talked about in the other video. It's not about how to make the decisions, but it's in the process of when we do make those decisions, right? What is it that we're supposed to do? Problem solving, right, is a skill. When we have a crisis, right? How are we going to handle this particular crisis? Are we going to be, proactive, or are we going to panic, right? Time management. I just talked about in my a couple of other videos, and some of you guys already probably know the story in reference to time management, right? Not procrastinating, waiting to the last minute to do things, right? What is on our to-do list? The very most important things should not be at the bottom. Those should be at the top. Or I should say the very things that you least likely are expected to do, or the very thing that you really don't want to do should not be at the bottom. They should be at the top. Go ahead and get all of the things that you really don't want to do, all of those hard, things, those hard decisions, those hard to do tasks, they should really be up in the forefront. Because if you push them down at the end, you get 4 things that are quick and easy. By the time you get to task number 5, you can be like, I can chill out for today. I've already completed 4 things on my list, right? And then you go to the next day, and instead of starting with those things that you really didn't want to start with, you push those back down and then put 4 more easy tasks up at the front. So again, all of that I talk about in the business development hub, and it's going to give you, right, the access and those tools and those resources and those skills in order to be a wonderful and great entrepreneur and leader, to be successful. So that's why I realized, like, in the process of starting, my own business, when it came to, my youth mentoring program, Believe Your Vision youth mentoring program, and then also just helping other people take their gifts and their talents and turn it into impact and income. I realized that, nobody's actually teaching the entrepreneurial skills needed to actually sustain a business. And that is why I created and developed that business execution framework. Because inside, I go through all of that. I go through the 9 business skills. I go through the 9 God-given, skills that I believe every entrepreneur, leader, and mentor literally needs, and how important it is. And I actually show you how to apply, right, those skills. I'm not just telling you what the skills are. I'm teaching you, I'm telling you, and I'm also helping you, learning and teaching you how to apply those skills. Because we can hear information all day, and sometimes information can go in one ear and can go out the other. But are we literally applying what we have learned? That's just, again, if you were in school and you had a test coming up, The teacher can teach you all day, all day, all day, all day, all day. You can write notes all day, all day. You can do homework all day. But if you are not applying what that teacher has taught you, if you're not applying what the homework, right, and the mistakes maybe that you had, to erase and recorrect on your homework, if you're not applying what it is that you have learned to that test or to that assignment, you are going to fail. That's the exact same thing as how it is in business. You have to start applying those skills. You have to start applying what it is in your knowledge that you know, so you can create and be that entrepreneur. We have to build the entrepreneur before we build the business. We can't build the business and then build the entrepreneur. You have to set the example for yourself. You have to set the example and be the leader for your business, for your clients, for your customers, and everybody else is going to be, involved in your business. And that is actually why I built that framework, is because just like me, right? I'm learning. I'm not perfect, right? But I've learned these skills, right? And I'm mastering these skills in order to be able to teach other people so they can master and be great at whatever it is that you do. I don't care if you sell digital products. I don't care if you have a service-based business. I don't care if you run a daycare. I don't care if you work at Walmart or Target, if you're a content creator, right? If you cut the grass. I don't care if you make soaps, if you crochet, if you make t-shirts, whatever it is that you do. I don't care what it is that you do. I want you to be successful in what it is that you do. That's the thing. That is the goal. That is the transformation. I want you to be successful. But in order to do that, we have to start applying these skills that so many people don't know, or they don't know how to successfully apply, right? Those skills to turn their business or to turn their talents into impact and income. So if you're ready to literally stop guessing, right? Stop overthinking and start developing those skills that are needed to build a business that will create impact and income, I want you to join the Believe Your Vision, right? Business Development Hub. Inside, you are going to find workshops, you're going to find business resources and tools, and that business execution framework, literally to help you grow in your business. So if y'all have any questions, always let me know. Put it in the comments. And until next time, I'll see you soon. See ya.